Good evening. It is Sia with Black Petal Gardening. Today is the 9th of July, and we're going to do a quick little review of a few of the things in the garden that are almost ready to be harvested. So, the first one is actually kind of a cheater one. And I say that because we have already harvested some of them. In fact, we had some for dinner a couple of days ago, and that's our beans. So, if I can twist this a little bit so you can see, we've got some beautiful beans over here, looking really, really nice. Some good size. And these are our Kalima beans. I don't know, I got some ants over there. They are coming along quite well. I don't know what that bug is either. So anyway, um, but we're getting some good um, flowering and good vegetabling, fruiting, I guess. The same thing with our purple beans, which are the purple TP. Got some more over here. Now down on this level, we do have some bush lake beans, but other ones that we have coming in are the tiger eye beans. Those ones we're going to be keeping on the vine until they dry out because we are growing them as a shelling bean. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's these over here. So they're coming along. This one's getting kind of older, so it might be a little bit before those are ready for harvesting, but throughout the green stalks, we got some here. We are getting some really nice bean action. So in the next week or two, we're going to do a decent sized harvest, I would say. I'm hoping. We can see here we've got some tomatoes that are just blushing and some that are getting a little bit further in the process. Those are our Juliet tomatoes. And then if we slide around to this other side, you can kind of see tucked back there are some of the sun gold tomatoes that are starting to get ripe. So now that we're starting to see some color on our tomatoes, I'm kind of thinking slash hoping that that means the tomato harvesting season is starting to get kicked into gear, particularly the ones that are smaller. They typically end up being ready for harvest sooner than the bigger tomatoes. Speaking of the beans, we do have some beans here in the other green stalk. Actually, I think this one may only have the pole bean, which I haven't seen any beans on just yet. But over here, we've got some French fillet beans, and I'm pretty sure we have like a bush lake bean over here somewhere, and I want to say a second fillet bean is coming through. So we will be harvesting those very, very soon. One of the big things that we're going to be harvesting are our onions. So as you can see, they have fallen over for the most part. We have probably about 6 or 7 that are still showing an upright position. What I mean by that is this is still very strong, and it hasn't folded over like this one has. Almost a 90-degree angle just above where the bulb is. So based on the fact that probably 90% of these have fallen over, I would feel comfortable with in about a week, week and a half, us going and harvesting these. Now, what I would prefer to do is wait for all of them to fall over. We will see. If we're in the middle of our harvest and these haven't all fallen over, I'll probably just go ahead and pull them. And if the weather ends up changing a little bit and it's looking like we're going to have more than just a little bit of a sprinkle of rain, then I'm definitely going to harvest these as well. I do not want these to get wet or soaked or anything. At this point, we want them to be drying out as we get ready to harvest, after we harvest, and it goes into the curing stage as well. Peas, these have been a constant harvest, so it's really nice to see some new growth coming up on these. So we will be definitely harvesting more of these in the coming days. And then here's one of our beauties. So this is our cabbage. I think it's called hybrid paddock, PADOC. They can get up to 12 inches in diameter and about 10 pounds. This is not there, but it's looking really, really good. We will be harvesting this within a week. Probably next week is going to be the goal, and so I'm looking forward to that. This one has already been kind of dedicated to Scott making sauerkraut. We do have these other ones, which are smaller. We probably will not harvest them the same time that we do this other one. There's only 2 of us, so we can't, eat a lot of stuff all at once. Maybe we'll harvest the smaller one and make some coleslaw, and then we'll figure out what we want to do with this one. My guess is Scott's going to want to do a different kind of fermented something, some kind of recipe for it. So those are future harvests, maybe in a week or a week or 2 after we harvest this one, which we'll definitely be harvesting next week. I'm pretty sure that our carrots are ready for harvest. So what we'll probably do is a test pull on one of them next week when we do the harvest for the cabbage, see how it looks, and if it's looking good, then we'll continue to harvest those, as well as looking at the carrots over here to see how they're looking from a harvest standpoint. We may have some cucumbers in about a week as well. These are the dragon's egg cucumbers, and they look like some of them are getting up to size, but they still have this fairly green color to them. And my understanding is they're supposed to be like a pale white or cream, more of a cream color. So, I don't know if that's damage or if that's it transforming to that white color or not. So we'll be taking a look at this in the possibility that it doesn't get any lighter. Now this one's looking like it has lightened up. So, but if others don't get any lighter, but they are still, that good kind of egg size, about the size of a duck egg, that may even be a little bit bigger, then we will go ahead and still harvest it. Because what I don't want to do is leave it on the vine too long to the point where the plant says, oh good, I've met the goals of my life as a plant, and then ends up starting to die back because we didn't harvest and we let the fruit get too mature. So we've got a few things on here that we'll probably be harvesting next week as well. Oh boy. These are probably ready for harvest right now. And this has been definitely a non-stop harvester item. We've harvested, I want to say, about 4 of these, maybe even 5 already. So where our zucchini plant has really not been doing much of anything, our hybrid gentry, I believe is what this one is, summer squash, knocking it out of the park. So we will absolutely be harvesting at least 2 and looking more like 3, 4, maybe even 5 next week. Now I am hopeful because we do have a female flower here. We have some male flowers here that maybe there's been some pollination finally. And so maybe we'll get our first zucchini off of this plant, but we'll have to wait and see. The watermelon, though, we do have some growing nubs over here for like the sugar baby. I want to say we've got about 4 or 5 of those. They are not going to be ready anytime soon. The yellow watermelon, I have seen nothing yet, and it's been a little bit disappointing. So what I did was I trimmed back a whole bunch of the vines. My thought process being, if there's fewer vines, more of the energy will hopefully go into the process to create some of the watermelons that I'm hoping that we will be able to harvest. Now, I am supposed to be focusing on what will we actually be harvesting and not necessarily future stuff. So I am getting a little off track, but I did want to show off this guy, which is our black bolota, and it is a winter squash. It's supposed to get to be a very, very, very dark green, almost black outside, and I'll know that it's ready for harvest if I have difficulty piercing it with my fingernail. So I don't think we're going to be there probably for maybe another couple of weeks, maybe even a little longer. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about squash, and this squash in particular, to be able to really easily judge when we'll be able to do a harvest. But I would be surprised if it's ready in a week when we're looking to do our first major harvest. We do not have any of these yet. These are the tomatillos. There we go. So that's kind of what we're looking at as far as things being ready to go. So I think the next video that we'll be doing after this potentially will be our harvest video, unless something else comes up that seems like it might be interesting for us to share with you, with you in the world. So until then, I hope you guys have a marvelous evening. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.